About a month and a half ago, I started down the path of making the perfect chocolate chip cookie recipe. Today is about my fourth batch. And I was laying in bed one night thinking, what could make it better? And the answer was brown butter. So today's recipe, which is a brown butter chocolate chip cookie, actually has 3,400 reviews and it's still hitting a 5-star. So let's make a batch and see what it's all about. So the first step requires us to brown a cup of butter. So let's pop over to the stove. Okay, so over medium heat, I'm melting 1 cup of butter, which is 2 sticks, until it has a nutty smell to it and is golden brown. To pour our browned butter in a bowl. We're going to set that aside, and now we're going to sift our flour mixture. We are going to sift 2.5 cups of flour, and then I'm going to sift in 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of sea salt, and a 1/2 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. I'm going to set that aside, bring our brown butter over, and we're going to add 1 whole cup of brown sugar and 1/4 cup of regular granulated sugar. And one thing I've learned along the way of finding the perfect chocolate chip cookie is that it has more brown sugar in it than white sugar. Now the recipe calls for 1 large egg. My eggs looked a little small, so I'm choosing to use 2. Okay, and then it calls for a yolk. So 1 large egg and a yolk. Again, my eggs were really small, so I used 2 and a yolk. Mix that up. Well, I just lost electricity, and as the old saying goes, the show must go on. So in the bowl, we have our brown butter, our sugars, and our eggs, and now we're going to add our flour, cinnamon, salt, and baking soda. Gonna mix this up. The awesome part about this, even though I've lost electricity, once this is made up, it goes in the refrigerator to chill for an hour. So I'll get that all prepped, throw the pans in the refrigerator, keep the door closed to conserve energy, and hopefully we can bake in a little bit. All right, so that's well mixed. With the power outage, I almost forgot the vanilla. Now what's great about this recipe, besides having almost double the brown sugar that you're used to, but it also calls for double the vanilla. So it calls for 2 teaspoons. Oops, and a little extra. We'll just get that mixed in real good before we add the chocolate chips. It smells amazing, very nutty. And then it calls for 12 ounces of semisweet chopped chocolate or semisweet chocolate chips. Okay, that should be good. All right, if you're using standard baking sheets, you can line them with parchment paper. These are actually over 60 years old. My mom had them custom made. They're stainless steel cookie sheets, and I can confidently tell you they're over 60 years old. And when she passed away, I inherited them and I use them every chance I get. So I'm going to use a large tablespoon melon baller for my cookies. You can make 16 large cookies using 1/4 cup of dough per cookie. I like to share, so I'm making smaller cookies. So you just put your cookie dough on your tray, and then they're gonna go in the refrigerator and chill for an hour. We'll come back and bake them. So if you have a favorite chocolate chip cookie that you think stands out, please drop it in the comments. We would love to hear from you. If you try this recipe, again, please drop us a note. We love to hear from each and every one of you. And, you know, like any other cook, I'm open to learning new stuff every day and would certainly enjoy hearing from you. I'm gonna set that aside, prep another tray so I only have to open the refrigerator once, since I don't know when the electricity's coming back on. I cannot tell you, the cookie dough even smells good. I can't imagine what these are gonna smell like while they're baking. All right, we're gonna pop these in the refrigerator for an hour or longer, depending on when the electricity comes back on, and then we'll be back to bake them. We're back after yesterday's power outage. By the time the lights came back on last night, it was a little late to be filming, but I did do a test batch. I'm high altitude, I was making a smaller cookie, and lesson learned is you do not wanna overbake this cookie. So we've got the oven preheated this morning at 350 degrees. I covered last night's cookie dough and we are going to bake them this morning. I can't wait to taste them. Okay, for me, this was a 10-minute baking time. Again, I'm high altitude, I'm a mile up. When you take them out of the oven, what you're looking for is some golden brown edges on the outside, right? And then we're supposed to take the tray and slam it down. It's supposed to make for a chewier cookie. I'm gonna do it one more time. Okay. And then you let them sit on the tray for 5 minutes. If you're looking for a cookie that is crispy on the outside and gooey on the inside, this is your cookie. Oh, good. The cinnamon, it just adds a really nice touch and would be a special touch around a Christmas holiday cookie. Give it a go and let me know what you think. If you've enjoyed this video, please consider hitting the subscribe button to help the channel grow. We'd appreciate it. And I'll see you on the next one.